Okay, good morning. Today's date is, as you can see by me showing you this video picture of my cell phone, it's 09/11/2013, and as you can clearly see, it's 7:56 a.m. in the morning. And my name is Leslie Williams. Please hold on a second. Now, I have not uploaded any videos. The last time I believe a video was uploaded, I'm checking the calendar right now. I'm talking to you. Today's date is September 11th, and let's see, it was around September 4th or 5th was the last time I uploaded a video, and those were videos in reference to just odds and ends videos that haven't even been titled yet, in exposing San Diego YouTube channel. Okay. And there's also been some videos that were labeled by me that were uploaded, I think, the day before concerning exposing the San Diego Police Department headquarters gang stalking and the identical harassment that happened to me there also happening to me almost 1 month to the date at inside of the San Diego City Council meeting. And then when Thursday came along, it was on the 4th and the 5th was the last time I uploaded videos. And why am I telling you this? Well, I'm showing you right now a picture of my cell phone. I don't know how well you can see it in reference to the calendar. The 5th was the last time I believe I uploaded a video. It was the last time I was at the library. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because I decided to take the 6th off in order to be able to gather my laundry together so I could do it. Originally, I was going to do it on Saturday. And then, as a result of doing work here at my hiking area, I wasn't able to, because when you're hiking, okay, in California, and you're living in a small area and you got a lot of property, I spent the weekend, I decided to wait and do the laundry on Monday, okay, and so what I did was I was going to wait and just filter through the laundry on Sunday and go and do it on Monday or Tuesday. And then some stuff happened here at the hiking area in reference to the freaked out skanks that they got set up about 200 feet away. Okay? That's right. Who yelled gang stalk, gang stalker, and gang stalking. Oh my God, and why don't you come and get her out of here? Or why don't you call the cops on her? They literally say this shit from a distance. Okay? Now I gotta make this into a short video. So as a result of the non-stop harassment by them, I started thinking to myself around the 3rd and 4th of September and the last week of August, I was eyeballing some other places. I'm not going to say where they were, okay, for me to possibly move to get away from these freaks who bother me practically every other night, including even attempting to keep me up at night by talking loud, bark. I think they're deliberately, intentionally getting their dog to bark, and yelling things for me to hear. And what they're yelling, in part, at least 80% of what they're yelling is the same exact identical harassment that I have caught along all of my routes. Clearly caught along all of my routes, of people constantly and repetitively getting around me and repeating gang stalking everywhere I go. Every day, everywhere I go, non-stop. And that's not the only thing I'm experiencing along my routes. And so I'm thinking to myself, I experience all this harassment every day, everywhere I go, and then I come home, try to relax, have some peace of mind, and they set up the freaks 200 feet away to do the same thing. Now, if they'll go as far as renting apartments adjacent to targets as gang stalking, which you can Google, and if they'll gang stalk a target to a motel room, a house, an apartment, on foot, while the target's in their car, at businesses, do you honestly think they're not going to set up some freaks 200 feet away to also harass me as well? Because that's what gang stalking is all about. To totally preoccupy your time and your mental processes by subjecting you to harassment everywhere you go. Go to YouTube and type in gang stalking bullying on steroids. You'll clearly see that target saying that he's harassed everywhere he goes, that it's nerve-wracking, and that they even harass him at his own home. Okay? So, to make a long story short, I picked up some of my belongings, a spare tent, a couple sleeping bags, some things I need, and some pajamas, and went to another area to hike out. And I made an audio file while I was still here, which isolated the date and time I was making the audio file. I said, let's see if anything happens to me, concerning me, once I get over to this new hiking area. And within 30 minutes, hadn't even got the tent put up yet because I was clearing the area inside of a bunch of bushes that clearly hid me from outside view. I didn't even have the tent up yet, and two people who were claiming to be the property owners, who were well, it was a man and a son, and the man claiming that his wife was the property owner comes down, and they're saying they're in the area to water plants, and that they saw me and told me that it's private property and I got to go, and if I don't, they're going to call the cops. Now, I'm not going to go into the long tirade about what happened with them and what happened the next day with them, but I will say this. And it happened within a half hour of me arriving. Okay? Now, it only takes 3 seconds for a person to go down into the area where I went. 3 seconds of being in open view. And I waited before I went down in that area. I waited until all the cars passed by going in both different directions. That way the gang stalking couldn't say, well, a neighbor saw you going down in there. I waited until because I'm off a road that's got cars going in both directions. I waited until all the cars had cleared going in both directions. And then I turned my bike and went down in it. Okay, and once you go down in it, you can't be seen by anybody except for possibly people that are way off the hill. Okay, and then it took me about 15 seconds once I got down, which only takes 3 seconds, to walk over to the area where I was going to hike at. So, and then him appearing within 30 minutes of once I got in there. That's right. So what's the likelihood of that happening? And then you wouldn't believe what the boo-boos they made the next day. They came back out the next morning. And I was already planning on leaving. I just hadn't got everything. By the time I got there and got everything situated and everything, plus it being 98 degrees and humid out, we're having a monsoon in San Diego. But to make a long story short, I can't say any more about the situation because of, trust me, when I open up and explain the entire situation, then you're going to understand why I can't say the details of what just happened. Trust me, you will. Just trust me. I have right now in my possession over 700 separate audio files of every day for the last year and a half, everywhere I have went, individuals being around me saying gang stalk, gang stalker, gang stalking, oh my god, gang stalking, oh my god, gang stalking, oh my god, weird, crazy gang stalking, repetitively and constantly everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, every single day. Okay? So we're not just talking about 700 audio files, we're talking about what's in each of the 700 audio files. Not gang stalker or gang stalking just being said once. I'm talking about each, like if an audio was like, say, because the audio files extend anywhere between, some of them, not very much of them, extend from 3 hours to 45 minutes, 49 minutes, 59 minutes, 45 minutes, 32 minutes, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, a bunch of different audio files. Each of those separate audio files have gang stalking constantly and repetitively, constantly being said around me. Okay, so it's not like I got just 700 audio files of it being said around me once or twice. I'm talking about each audio file has it being constantly said around me, including by them getting the manager of this expedition getting bicyclists up on the sidewalk and saying it, and the individuals they placed 200 feet away from saying it as well. Okay, so and plus on 2 separate occasions, 13 months apart, I caught 2 different sets of people admitting they were put in my physical, where I was physically at, to engage in gang stalking harassment. And one of them admitted that a San Diego police officer put them there. So I have undisputable proof I'm a victim of this crime, and that's not the only proof I got. Okay? Now, they literally getting bicyclists to ride their bikes by and say gang stalking. This is the second hiking area they have done that at, and I moved from the first one to come here to get away from it. Okay? The first one is over 30 miles away. Okay? So how did they know I came to this one for one? Okay? So, and they're doing the same exact tactic over here that they did at the last one. And the last one, they literally had MTS bus drivers who drive those small coach buses pull up at my hiking entrance, which was also the exit, park their bus, open up their door, and they were pretending like they were having cell phone conversations and literally repeating gang stalking. A couple of them even got outside of the bus and would stand on the sidewalk and say it, and the sidewalk being 10 feet away from where that hiking area was. Then they would have different people walk up and down the sidewalk and say it. So I finally got out of there, came here, and they're doing the same exact thing here. So, I have undisputable proof I'm a victim of this crime. It's literally undisputable, and 0.001% of that proof is already online, which means there's about 70 videos online that show the proof that I'm talking about. And eventually I'm going to put the blog titles that hold the numerous videos in the description of this YouTube video. It's been caught happening inside of the San Diego Police Department headquarters when I went there for the first and only time in my entire life on July 24, 2013. It was said at least 25 times when I was in there, right around me. Then I went to a San Diego City Council meeting on August 23rd, 2013, and I was in there for about an hour and a half at least, caught it happening on video and audio. I took the video memory card out of the video camera, put it in my computer, uploaded the videos. At UCSD Price Center, they hacked into my computer and erased all the videos off the video card. I don't know why they allowed me to upload the videos. Let me see. But I still got all the harassment that was also caught on the video cards on the tape recorder that I got, because the tape recorder was running as well when the harassment was occurring. Same exact, identical to a T, to a literal T, the same exact identical, okay, totally identical harassment that I experienced along all my routes happened in the San Diego Police Department headquarters and in the City Council chambers. When I was in there for an hour and a half, sitting next to numerous reporters. I was literally in the front row, sitting next to numerous reporters, okay? And then they hacked into my computer and erased all the video files off the memory card. But they left a way for me to prove that somebody did it, okay? Because my computer and this video camera that I took the video pictures of doesn't have the capabilities to do what was left over from them erasing it. And I'll get to that over time once I make a video. So what's the purpose of this video? Right now, and since I cannot at this time, until after I move, expand on any more of the details concerning what happened with the property owner. And once I do, you'll understand why I can't do it now. Just trust me. Right now you can see it's 8:08, okay, which is a little bit of later time in reference to the time this video started, because I've been talking. I'm predicting right now, let's see if the property owner of this property comes down here and evicts me. Or when I'm gone, because so you can see what I'm doing right now is I'm bagging up my stuff, okay, in the separate bags. I got 2 there. I got multiple bags within this bag that have already been compiled together. Yesterday I went and got 24 bags of water, okay, and what I decided to do was I'm going to set up 3 to 4 separate hiking areas, okay, and I only got one in mind, and that one is not a very good one in reference to I can easily be evicted from it. I'll just put it to you that way without having explained the details of it. It's well hidden out of sight, but to go to it and then leave from it, it's possible that people can see me. Okay, and since I'm gang stalked along all my routes, all they got to do is get a duped idiot to say, okay, we know where they know where I'm living at now. They knew where I was living at in my other hiking area, so do you honestly think they're not gonna know where I'm going to? Okay, and once I make some videos concerning this entire situation, you'll be able to understand why I'm saying that. And then once you hear what I have to say, you would totally agree that they're gonna, because the devil's in the details. And once I expose the details, you'll be able to see the reason why I make my statements. And once I explain these details, you will undisputably agree with that statement that they will definitely know where I'm going to move to. Once you just trust me, once you hear the details. Now, the only other place that I have in mind that I can go ahead and move to right away, and once you understand why I'm saying that, just trust me, see, because you don't know. With what happened here on the 8th and the 9th, I can't state why I'm where I'm at right now is a different area concerning where I went to when those property owners showed up, okay? But as a result of what happened with that, I got to move from this area, okay? That's right. And once I explain the entire situation, you'll understand why I'm having to move, why I've decided to move from this area. Okay, when they appeared back on the scene, they first approached me when I moved over, the day I was attempting to move over there on the 8th. Then they came and approached me on the 9th and gave me a trespass notice warning. Okay, now, so I decided as a result of that situation happening, the harassment happening that I'm experiencing here, and another detail. Okay, and that detail is very, very, very pertinent to the situation. And once I explain it, you will understand. So I've decided I got to move from here. So I thought to myself, well, since I got to move from here, it's going to take me up to anywhere between 7 and 10 days every day, excluding one day that I'm going to have to take to go that I'm going to have to dedicate to go checking my mail, which is over 30 miles away. Between the bus schedules and the bus routes, getting there to do that and then coming back here, it's going to be an entire day, literally, because bus schedules are a pain in the butt. I had to take almost two buses or maybe a trolley to get there. That takes up an entire day to get there, get it, maybe go to Jack in the Box, get a fast bite to eat, and then come back. That's a whole entire day. So what I'm trying to say is I got to spend at least the next 7 days to 10 days to maybe even 2 weeks moving enough property to the immediate area that I want to move to. Okay? Because I got everything I own at this place. We're talking about clothes, camping equipment, odds and ends, loose ends, and that's not including the time it's going to take for me to filter through what I need to filter through so I can make up 4 separate kits. One's going to be an emergency kit, the other 3 is going to be a kit that I can take to 3 separate hiking areas. 2 of them haven't been found yet, and I still don't know how the first one's going to work out. Okay, so it's not just packing up, filtering through everything, making the kits, filtering through the rest of their property, okay, and then filtering through that, looking for hiding places for that until that stuff can be moved. Because if they come down here when I'm gone on the day, like I go to do my post office, or when I'm gone on a day that I'm going to look for the 2nd, 3rd hiking area, they can come down here and people can come down here and steal my stuff, including the property owner of this property. Okay, because I'm going to tell you something right now. As a result of a boo-boo that the woman made who approached me on the 9th, she said something, and I'm going to tell you right now what she said. And what she said, she had no reason to say it. You know what she said? She goes, if you think you're being followed. Her husband, and her son were not talked to at all in any way about anything concerning the gang stalking of me. The only thing I told them was that I was homeless. Period. That was it. End of story. It was the only thing that I told them, that I was homeless. I did not tell them that I was being gang stalked. I did not tell them I was being harassed by anybody. I did not tell them that I was being stalked. I did not mention about being followed. I did not mention anything concerning the reason why I moved there, except for the fact that I'm homeless. That's it. So why would a woman appear at where I was at, her claiming that it was her property, and say, if you think you're being followed? And then I said, why would you say that? I go, what gave you reason to say that? And then she switched the subject. That's right. And I caught it on audio file, and I might have caught it on video, because I took a video picture of her as she was talking to me. I can't explain any more though, but just trust me. Okay, so if you knew all the property I got here, you would see why it's going to take me at least 10 days to move. And part of the biggest reason why it's going to take me 10 days is because, like I said, I'm going to set up 3 separate hiking areas, okay? And then move a portion of all my property, a portion, like if you got all your property here, like one big gigantic pile, I'm going to be taking portions of that pile to each separate 3 hiking areas. And then I'm going to make one place, a covert place, to hide an emergency kit. Hang on a second. Okay, so it's going to take time for me to filter through all my property, to make out the portions I got to make to take to each one. Then I got to take one portion to one place that I'm not even sure is going to work out. Then I got to find the 2 additional places, which means I got to get on bus routes and search for them, which can take 4 days in itself, because I'm not even sure what bus routes I'm going to take to look for property for me to hike on. Then once I eyeball them and identify them, I then got to come back here and take the 2 separate portions to the 2 separate hiking areas, dump them off, okay, then come back here and tie up all the loose ends. And trust me, these loose ends are huge, because it's still property that I got to find places to hide that until I can go to, until I can figure out where that stuff's going to be put at. And the reason why I'm doing this is this. If I get evicted from this hiking area before I can get these other hiking areas established, you would not believe the amount of property I got. I would literally need a U-Haul. I'm talking about all my clothes, Okay, massive amounts of printouts that I printed out from the internet concerning gang stalking, lawyers, penal codes, evidence, and then other backup stuff like other camping equipment, clothes that I don't know, am not currently using as clothes, backup sleeping bags. Okay, I got a huge amount of stuff here at this hiking area that's very well cleverly hidden. Okay, I got to go through all that and filter throughout all of it. Figure out what I'm going to take to each one. That takes time to filter it out, bag it. While I got all this stuff that I'm getting out, putting it out in this tent, which means that you would not believe the distractions I had yesterday, just putting 2 or 3 bags worth of stuff, pouring it out into the tent, and then filtering through it to see what I needed, and then setting up bags so I could, alright, I need this, because each of my bags are going to have identical stuff. Things that are going to help me survive for 1 week at the area. And the reason why I'm also doing this is because the reason why I'm doing this in reference to setting up 3 hiking areas is because if I get evicted from any one of those, I don't want to be trapped into another 10 or 14 days of having to look for a new hiking area to go to and then having to move all my stuff to that hiking area. That's right. Because the same thing can happen to me again at the next ones I go to. Each one I go to. Which could tie me up in 10-15 days of moving each time I got to move. I can move all my stuff to a hiking area today, go there, and the next morning or the day after, somebody could call the cops, including one of these assholes that are connected to this gang stalking, because they stalked me to here, which meant I was followed to here in order to put the crafted harassment they're bringing about by bicyclists towards me here, and the individuals they literally set up to hike 200 feet away to harass me. If they'll rent apartments adjacent to a target or solicit current tenants that are above or below or next to a target in a target's apartment building to harass them, do you really think that they will not set up individuals to hike out 200 feet away from me to harass me? In which they are. And I caught some of it on audio file. So my whole goal is to not let these skanked out freaks monopolize my time. Another thing, they did this, and within 32 days of me coming up for a recertification review for social services for my food stamps. If I can't prove how long I've been living in a hiking area, okay, then they can say, well, Leslie, how do we know you've been living in San Diego County because they review you once a year, okay? I've been living here for 10 months. Hang on a second. I've been living here for 10 months. If they come down here and evict me from here before that redetermination happens, they'll say, Leslie, where you been living at? I'll say, well, I was living here, but I'm not living here now because something motivated me to move. I got to put it to you that way. Just trust me, okay? The details, once you hear the details, you'll understand. You'll completely understand, and it'll totally make sense to you, okay? And I'll say, well, because something motivated me to move, okay? Now, so they say, well, how can you prove to us that you were here? Well, I can easily prove that I've been in San Diego County for the last year because of the huge amount of receipts I got, okay? And plus, even my purchases I get $19 or $16 of food stamps each month. I can prove where I made those purchases at because they got a computer log of it, for one. All right, but anyways, plus I got some other things going on that I got to attend to. That I have to be available to check my P.O. box, like with what happened with the SDSU thing on February 1st. That's right. So anyways, I gotta go. So this is my way of letting the public know of what's happening to me and why I'm not uploading videos. Okay? For the next at least 10 days, every single day from morning till night will be dedicated to filtering through all my property, sectioning it and bagging it up. Okay, and then once it's sectioned and bagged up, the kits will be made in reference to one kit will be identical to the second kit, to the third kit, and then the emergency kit. Each kit will contain what I need to survive for anywhere between 2 and 7 days at a hiking area. Then I got to go find the second and third hiking area, and if the first one don't work out, because it's only been probed by me once, if the first one don't work out, that means I got to find 3 hiking areas, places I don't even know of yet. That's going to take time, probably at least a week right there. You wouldn't believe what's involved in catching buses, hopping on buses, eyeballing a place while you're on the bus, then having to get then having to get off at the bus stop, take your bike off the bus, ride your bike to it, and if it's not something that's appealing, you gotta wait for the next bus to come to pick you back up to then look for the next place. This is literally what's involved in hiking. Just looking for one place can take an entire day, and I can still walk away from at the end of that day without a place being found. That's how hard it is to find a hiking place in San Diego, because there's not a lot of available land, and the land that is available, sometimes it's already occupied by homeless people, and at other times it's on landscapes that are hillish, where you can't put a tent on it because it's hillish, it's on an angle. You would not believe what I'm putting up with because of this shit. Okay, you just would not believe it. Okay, and the asshole they set up 200 feet away, he'll deny every bit of it. He will deny every bit of it up and down the road and call me crazy concerning it. So we're going to see if any incident happens at this area before I can get everything that I own from this area that's hidden close by, including this tent. Okay, if any problems occur and the police are called, the property owner are called, or an incident happens that excites the police to be called or the property owner to be called, and I get evicted, it will be the direct concerted effort of a staged event. They're called street theaters and gang stalking, to bring about, to make it appear that the property owner and or police are arriving on the scene through normal appearing means. Okay, that's right, they're called street theaters, which basically are staged events that are designed to bring about a result that benefits them. Remember what I said, that an individual admitted to me and a hidden running tape recorder that a San Diego police officer put him on the corner to engage in gang stalking? Remember what I said? And that video is already up online. Go to YouTube and type in 2/20/13 learning disabled woman catches another gang stalker admitting sent to harass. You can literally hear an individual admitting to San Diego police officer put him on a corner to engage in gang stalking towards me once I got off a bus and walked to that corner. Okay? Now, so if any theft or damage of my property happens before I can move every single thing that I own that is here, including the tent, the tarp that's on it, the weatherization sheet that's on it, the property that's hidden in the area, very cleverly and creatively out of sight. If one thing is stolen, damaged, or missing, I don't care who did it. I don't care if the property owner brings somebody down here to take everything because they said I was trespassing. I don't care. Anything that if I'm evicted from this area, if I get any trespass notices or anything and told that I got 24 hours to move before I can personally move on my own, which includes not only me personally moving, but having every last stitch of my property moved with me, it will be the direct concerted effort of this organized gang stalking. I'm going to tell you why I'm saying that. If I got to move out of here immediately before these other hiking areas can be found, that means I got to hurry up and find a place to move all of my stuff. I then move to that place and the same thing happens, without me having another place to move all my stuff to, because they know I don't have a secondary or third hiking area found yet. And how do they know that? Remember I said I got 700 audio files? 700 audio files dedicated to the last 700, almost 700 days. Because some audio files are, like I can have 4 or 5 different audio files dedicated to one day. But let me tell you something. I've been gang stalked along every single one of my routes every single day for in reference to the proof I got for the last year and a half. Now the only way that they could put this crafted harassment around me at multiple different places in one day is that they had to know where I was at and how I was getting to where I was at. In other words, if I leave from here and go to Ralph's, and then I'm gang stalked along my routes to get to Ralph's, including the walking route with my bike, the bus route, and then once I get to Ralph's, that means they had to know where I was at to gang stalk me and gaslight me on my way to the Ralph's, and then once I got to Ralph's. Okay? That's right. So what I'm trying to say is, I literally have proof that I've been gang stalked along all my routes every single day for the last year and a half. And since I got that proof, that can show you that they know that I have not surveilled any other areas.